Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I was surprised to find out that this Saturday we are going to see a big boxing fight coming up with Floyd Mayweather going up against Berto, which is going to be coming to you live from the MGM in Las Vegas. The titles that are going to be defended are the WBA, WBC, and the ring welterweight titles, all are going to be on the line. Honestly, in my mind, I think that this does not live up to the hype. And honestly, in my mind, when I thought that Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather went down, I thought that that was going to be the death of boxing. Obviously, there will always be a ring and there'll always be two guys going in there to slug it out. But in my mind, Major League Boxing, as a major sport in the United States, honestly, is way down. There is no hype for this fight. I didn't even know about this fight, and honestly, I could have lived all the way until Sunday and not even have known this fight was going to happen if it wasn't for my friend Justin last night asking if we were going to be watching the fight this weekend. Honestly, when this fight was announced, Berto was looked at as a guy like, who is this? And I haven't even looked in to see what this fight is going to cost. The Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight is a fight that Floyd made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to a fight that everyone was complaining that no one was going to pay the $100 in order to see the fight. Everyone stepped up to the plate, basically, because I think nobody knew who was going to order the fight, and at the last minute didn't want to be the one guy who didn't get a chance to see the fight. Over 3 million buys worldwide. That was huge. But from from listening to the Wrestling Observer radio this morning with them talking about everything that happened that weekend with Mayweather being allowed to take an IV the night before the fight, and basically everyone knowing about it but not letting it known. Word was out that Manny Pacquiao had been injured on his training in order to get to the fight, but the Floyd Mayweather people wouldn't even let Manny Pacquiao get a shot in order to sort of heal the pain. Manny had to go out there like a man and fight the fight as it was. With Floyd Mayweather being the promoter as well as the fighter, I think that he stacks the deck too far against himself. And with his record at 48-0, with him beating Berto at 49-0. It just, to me, honestly, everybody keeps saying that this is going to be Floyd Mayweather's last fight. This is when he's going to announce his retirement. He might announce his retirement, but this is not going to be his last fight. He signed a deal to go over to Showtime, and honestly, in my mind, I think that he's going to be going back to HBO. I think that there's going to be money put down on the table. I think people want to see, or I think people know that people will pay for a Floyd Mayweather fight until this guy loses. No matter if it takes him all the way until he's fighting into a, taking a walker down to the ring. I think that people, have put enough money into trying to see this guy lose, whether if it's paying for the Marcus Maidana fights or the Sal Alvarez fights, the Guerrero fights. Honestly, in my mind, I don't think, besides for the Pacquiao fight, I don't think I've been as excited to see Mayweather fight since about 2011 when he fought Victor Ortiz and Shane Mosley. I thought those were two fights that I thought really had something really going for him. When he beat Ricky Hatton back in 2007, that was a pretty well hyped up fight, but that was years ago, and I just don't think boxing has the effect of it. I don't think a lot of people even know about this fight, but it would just be hilarious if basically, Mayweather goes in and loses his fight to Berto, and he loses the fight that nobody cared about because nobody even knew that this was going to happen. Honestly, when you build something up, like, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, which is a fight that had years and years of build, and then it finally happened, even though, weeks into this fight happening, people thought wasn't even going to go to happen with, tickets not going on sale until momentarily, almost the day of the fight, it seemed. It just seemed like that fight was a catastrophe. And, the more, I think that honestly, there'll be documentaries and there'll be books made about this fight and the things that Mayweather did behind the scenes in order to shift things into his favor. Just didn't make a whole lot of sense. When it comes down to it, is Floyd Mayweather going to win this fight? Yes. Just because That's the way it's going to go. Is this going to be a 12-round decision? Yes. Of course it is. Mayweather hasn't dropped the guy since 2011. He hasn't won a fight by TKO since 2007. He's going to do what he does. He's going to go in there. He's going to, just sort of run around the ring. He's going to try to evade, being... He's going to try to evade, as much fighting as possible. And at the end of the day, he'll throw the punches that land, and the guys will give him the win. And that's just about it. So that's how Saturday is going to go. Floyd Mayweather, Andre Berto. Honestly, in my opinion, Mayweather seems like a smart guy, but honestly, with a lot of fantasy football drafts going down this week, with football opening up, having a big game on Thursday, as well as having a full opening day on Sunday, trying to get everybody together on a Saturday night, to watch a Mayweather fight, honestly, in my mind, wasn't the best night for a fight. But this guy honestly has stacks and stacks of more cash than I do, so obviously he knows what he's doing. Tomorrow night, we are going to see a boxing match, which is going to be Floyd Mayweather going into the ring against an unnamed opponent. And I cannot believe how much hype this fight is not getting. If you think just a few months ago, Floyd Mayweather got into the ring against Manny Pacquiao and delivered 3.2 million buys around the country. And here we are, Floyd Mayweather coming in, having a fight to make his career go 49-0. And there's no press about this. And it's just, I can't believe it. The guy that he's fighting, Andre Berto, is probably the least known boxer inside of the world. This guy comes in and with his last 5 fights, losing more fights than he's won, and is a knockout machine. Basically, this fight, a lot of people are saying, is being chosen so Floyd Mayweather can end his boxing career at 49-0, tying the mark of Rocky Marciano. But honestly, in my mind, there's almost more talk about what Floyd Mayweather is going to do next than there is with this fight. Lots of talks coming out that basically Floyd Mayweather is going to sign a 3-fight deal with CBS. Where he would have 3 fights coming up. Maybe one of those would be against past opponents that we've seen him fight before, whether it's Manny Pacquiao, Sal Alvarez, Miguel Cotto. All of these names are being popped up into there, but tomorrow's big fight is more than likely just somebody going in to get massacred. And Mayweather isn't really known as being a knockout machine. He has knocked out some guys in the past, but he hasn't really had a knockout in, I believe, 3 years. And he hasn't had a technical knockout, I believe, since 2007. He's more of a defensive fighter, probably one of the best defensive fighters that we've ever seen inside of a boxing ring. His name is worth more than his fights are. His fights are pretty much universally bashed as being boring. And I don't know. I'm honestly just really surprised that there's no press for this whole deal. They had their weigh-ins in Las Vegas today. They had a reasonable size house. Nothing really like what it was for the weigh-ins for the last UFC or even for the last Pacquiao versus Mayweather fights. But man, there is really nothing going on about this. Basically, Mayweather has beat all of the people that people have thought that he has a chance to go in there and fight against. Definitely, Manny Pacquiao is a name that people think that should get another shot. He did go into the last fight as being injured. Sal Alvarez is somebody that Mayweather beat, but definitely has gotten better since their bout. And Miguel Cotto is the guy that was also clearly beaten by Mayweather. But more than likely, Cotto is going to lose his next fight that he's already going to have against Sal Alvarez. So maybe that is what's going to push Sal Alvarez into contention to getting the number 50 fight for that. But I think everybody wants to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao. You see it for real? Will people be bummed that the last time they had to pay $100 for a fight that really wasn't even on the level? Pacquiao came into the fight injured. Basically, he asked for a shot of cortisone, and Mayweather's camp basically told him no, that he was not allowed to use it, even though word is coming out now, months later, that Floyd Mayweather the night before the fight received an IV, which would have been against the rules of that against that fight. So more news to build up against the lawsuit against Mayweather and the Pacquiao fight, where people are trying to get their money back and trying to get a refund for basically not letting the people know what kind of a fight they were paying for. Definitely news coming out of Pacquiao being injured after the fight definitely would have changed people's minds if they would have known before. But there's not really a ton to say about Berto versus Mayweather. It would be funny, and I think there's going to be a lot of people rooting for Berto to beat Mayweather. Maybe he just lands that one punch that knocks Mayweather down, and that's all we need, and a legend is born inside of wrestling, that somebody was trying to take the easy way out to get to 49-0, but you never know. That's boxing. Boom, boom, boom.